Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Path to 1 Million. My name is Cliff Duvinois, and this is episode 24, chronicling my path to impact 1 million people. Today's story is called Thinking Alike. At the other point in time, I guess I could call it building stuff that people actually want to use. So what's interesting is that some advanced copies of my free ebook, my free PDF, have actually leaked out into the environment. And I had somebody reach out to me today, and he had an opportunity to read the PDF, and he was really surprised at, first off, how much content there was in the PDF. It wasn't like 20 words per page or something like that. It was actually like a mini book, just chock full of information. And he was all excited because there was information in there that he said he could use right away to start his business. And I was like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. But at the same point in time, what's interesting is that he sent me some feedback, and he said, you know what would make this even better is if you had some kind of a checklist. And I had to laugh because then he wrote like a few minutes later and said, oops, on the next page, there was a checklist. And like I said before, I think it was in episode 7 of this broadcast where I talked about how, usually at the end of a chapter of a book, the author usually includes some questions or even some kind of a checklist. And I always say to myself, I'll go back and do that when I'm done with the book. And I never do. As soon as I get done with the book, I usually put it off to the side, pick up the next book, and start reading that. So anyways, what I did is, in this particular case is, yes, I'm writing the book. Yes, I am shooting videos. But I thought it would make a nice compliment if I created a own separate file, an own separate checklist for every single section that I'm covering. So when I talk about how to really maximize your profile in LinkedIn, there's an actual checklist that you can follow to make sure that you are doing everything that we talked about in the videos, everything that we talked about in the book, to make sure you're crossing, every single item off of your list. So for me anyways, that's always been something that as far as books goes has been lacking, but because of the environment that I'm able to deliver, the offering, so to speak, I'm able to include all these extras. So, and I know I mentioned this before, usually when you design a product, it's there to scratch your own itch. And in this case with a book, it's always been something like a checklist or something that I've always been lacking. But now I don't have to worry about that because that's included as part of the offering. So everything includes video, everything includes a corresponding PDF to go with it. And then of course there's always a checklist once again. And of course referencing yesterday's episode where I talked about the concept of best practices. For instance, being able to implement some kind of a new system or learn a piece of software or whatever it is. Instructions are great, but if you don't tell people, give them some kind of a clue or a direction within which to head, they always seem to get lost for some reason. I know that I do. I can always sit there and look at like Microsoft Word and be like, how do I type a letter? And it will actually tell me, use this template, everything else. But as far as the words go, the content of the letter, if it's a letter expressing my disappointment or my excitement in someone or whatever it is, that context is always missing. There's no like best practices that's in place around that. So when I do have best practices, I seem to do a lot better job. I seem to pick up on the software quicker. If you're using it, in this case, we recommend that you do X, Y, and Z. Modify it, of course, as you see fit for your own business purposes. So for me, that's another thing why the checklist is so important, because it gives people some kind of a guidance that, hey, you know what, I gave you a lot of theory. Now I'm going to give you something practical, something that you can actually sit down and apply either one time, which is a couple checklists. You only have to do them once. But then there's other times where the checklist is something that you print out every single day and follow every single day as part of your morning routine. So anyways, as far as the status goes, because I know I was like wanting to get everything done today, I will be 90% complete by the end of today. I've just been seriously getting up at 3 a.m. and just working. It is all coming together. It looks absolutely fantastic. I forgot that the platform is actually mobile friendly. So when I took a look at it on my phone today, it looked incredible. So that's super cool. But just, organizing all the content. I ran into some technical issues today, which I had to get resolved. But moral of the story is that I'm 90% complete by the end of today, and I'll be working as soon as I get done with this video and shoving some food down my hole. But, you know, yeah, I'm just going to keep working on that, and you get it done tomorrow. I have another video to shoot, a very important video to shoot. I'll talk a little bit more about it then, but I just won't have time to do it today. I want to get the products, I want to get the offering and all that other stuff completely set up and dialed in. This video is a marketing piece. It is extremely important for what it is that I'm doing. So I just don't want to rush it just to hit a deadline. I thought I'd have more time today to do it. I just won't. So anyways, with the hour growing late, I do want to get some more things done so I can hit at least my 90% target. I will be back at it again tomorrow, grinding it out. But with any luck, everything will be complete and finished tomorrow. I just won't be able to push it out until Tuesday at the latest. So anyways, thanks for bearing with me. As always, I appreciate the time that you give me, and I hope you guys had an absolutely fantastic weekend, and I wish you all a good, solid week in front of you. Have a good night, and I will talk to you mañana.